So cool. Okay, so I think you've posted some beautiful things. Share someone wants to say something. Please tell me. It's done by Jenny, by uh, by which just see that. There's one, this she's share because
I found it quite tricky, that assignment, and I just think my code is really clumsy. But like, I'm quite happy that I think it will just become clearer, I suppose, as time goes on, and then I'll be able to make it a bit more. It's like a layered thing, isn't it? Like learning it.
yeah, I also observed that it was a bit slow.
Yeah.
Two loops, maybe one loop.
That's what. Yeah, I think probably I could have done it, but it was sort of evolved.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like a
Sorry.
yeah. No. Any yeah. Anything you can say to
So
point out, like
for triangles, which are starting from one into the other, right? You need to just just I don't know what J like JT, right? And then the band, right? It's across from one end to the other.
yeah. Yes.
So I think these are your bands. But what
Yeah.
is the problem that we are those things are gone. So you can just like push the whatever you want to, like in terms of the layers of the program, or you can remember whatever you first in the code be at the bottom layer, and then so forth. So for example, I have circle and so the one that I do in the end of the code, yeah. So for example, if I drew it in reverse, first example I now take that we made and I've added it in the line of code. So you'll see it's automatically come to the top. So maybe you can just think about how you can take those bands right at the beginning of the code.
Yeah.
Or I mean, just to like give you a sense of, you only need the nested loop when you, that's okay, Kushal, you can continue in this. You want a grid, you want a grid of objects. if you just need a row or a column, you can very easily do it with one loop. So this is also something that took me a while to figure out. Don't worry about it too much.
Okay.
Looking very nice, and I like
Yeah.
the mouse and
It's all a bit of exploration.
yeah. Cool. So yeah. So I think Shraddha definitely doesn't matter. You can do it whenever. And I'll just show these as well. So this one is with random. So and I think it's for any field which is a modulo of 200. So that's quite interesting. And then the other fields continue to be the same. And there's a grid. Now here there is a grid of rectangles and some of which are overlapped. Isn't it, Chandaji? Have I got it right?
Yes. First, I have put the rectangles and then colored it.
Then colored, okay. And is it that in between there are no rectangles, right? There's always like a gap here, right? Or is it a white colored rectangle?
No, not white.
It's a gap.
Gap. It's a gap.
Perfect. And this is also a very beautiful one which Chandaji has done with a gradient and a very lovely pattern. So here there are, see now she's used the same loop, but there are two grids. One grid is with the really small circles which are far apart, right? And then there is another grid with the larger circles which are like touching each other. So yeah, so it's looking very nice. And so now the way she's mapped the color is also very beautiful. Like basically she's taken 0 to 600 and then she's mapped 0 to 155. So that's basically between it's like somewhere middle of 0 and 255, and then she's added it only to the green. At one point the green was totally 0 and the red is 100. 0 0 0 makes it reddish color, and then when she's reached here it's like, gone up to 155 this green, and the red continues to be 100 and blue continues to be 0. So very very nice play on gradient. Very nice. Chandaji, now I think you're ready. Next class, next workshop, you can start taking the classes.
I'm very much enjoying this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
looking good. Yeah. And it's like they really got the funda of the maths. Well, I think that's really making a lot of difference. So maybe we'll keep a master class with you for the maths. Okay, cool. So this is looking really nice. And I think, have you uploaded something? No, na?
No. I am
Okay.
yet to try it out.
No
I'll do
problem,
it
no
soon.
problem. There's no
Probably
extent,
tomorrow.
there's no
Yeah.
obligation also. So don't worry. So we'll look at Shiba Chetty's work and also then use webcam. I'm not doing image today. I think image loading is not specific. There is today's image loading. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. So we'll do image loading and webcam both. So the way that will be is that you have canvas on the side here under your, you see if you click it, you should be able to see the three components of your file, which is the HTML file, your sketch file which you use, the JS file, and the style file, which is CSS, which is cascading style sheets. So anyway, what we need to do is we just need to upload the image here. Uploading images is fairly simple. Only thing is they should be less than 3 or something like that. So you guys can see that I'm click this arrow and it is create file. Oh, sorry, I logged that service. Hey, Kushal, maybe you p5. Okay. So yeah, so in this, you see a third option. Click on that, and then I don't know. Just upload a file and use that you like to use uh, in your project. So I've added one image here. You can see that it's showing up. It will show you the image here. It will give you the right file name that you used. So what we'll do is, just for our own easy use, just click this and rename the file. Let the, if it's .png or .jpeg, let that be, don't touch it. On the other side of the file, you just click an image or photo or whatever you want. I'll just select photo and click for everyone this, and then are you able to access P5 now?
I got the same authorization error right now.
Just I just did it once or twice, and there has been some kind of internet ban in Rajasthan, not Jaipur, specifically some other cities, because of some really big exam. So I don't know if that's the case in the.
I have no idea about that, but it shouldn't affect us.
Yeah, no, last they did a ban at internet here, like closing of the internet. And we didn't even have regular Wi-Fi, like no data.
Yeah, I cannot access P5 right now without the.
And then you can't see. Okay, never mind, you do it whenever. Anyway, you probably know about it. Everyone's sorted. Everyone's got an image that they've added and. Uh,
Ambika, right now I don't have any image on my desktop.
Desktop.
Yeah.
Anything from the internet. Actually, maybe I
Then
can teach you how to do it from the internet also, but it's it's. I
yeah.
don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No problem. Yeah.
Let me just check it once.
Can I load any screenshot?
Yeah, no, no, just for us to
Okay.
test if it's working or not.
What to do after uploading?
Everyone. So now what we do is we will make a variable. You can call it. I you call it whatever. Whatever. So now what we'll do is remember that I had given you that example of the picnic. That there is a that is like the uh, thing same thing and I that have to go so the box the sandwich. Otherwise, if you reach now we have to set up a very simple function called preload. It's nothing. You just have to function preload and put the curly brackets and within the curly brackets bring back the variable photo equals load image I capital I name of your with the extension. So mine is called photo.png. Yours will be called something else, right? So that's the first aspect of this. Okay, and then the next part is you have to call it into your canvas. So in the documentation, I will write now just like we written in the past circle, rectangle, simple write image, the variable photo, and then the comma. I write zero, my the top. So I should image. My image is big, so it's showing a very small portion of it. So now suppose I wanted the image to be smaller, and I know properly that this particular image was 1280 pixels by 720 probably. So I'll just make it 128 by 172, which is like 1/10 of the size of the image. So now my image has come into the canvas. So, and of course, so basically it's X and Y location and then width and height. Now, these are actually not compulsory. If your image is the size that you want it to be, you can just write only the X and Y coordinate. But if you want the image to be a particular size, you have the option to give it a width and a height just with a rectangle. So whenever you're done, just tell me. Okay.
So to input an image, do we have to use variables every time?
Yes, because it needs to be put in preload function.
Yes, and can you explain the line 13 again? Image, photo, and then what is 00 then?
0 is just X and Y coordinate, like rectangle. That's the first top left coordinate of the object. That's all.
All right.
And now it'll just work like regular objects that you use in Canvas. So, I can put a loop, I can animate it. So, like, I can say let X equal x in the x direction and then say x plus plus, and then I have an animated image. So it works exactly like how your other objects work. And say now in this, if I were to move the background in setup, I would do the same equals to movie. Now you can see that it's kind of making images. So similarly, you can even do uh, also a for loop. So I can I equals 0, I times width, and then I plus equals to plus 70, and then I have that as many times as I want or whatever. So very simple to do. And then and the fun one always is that instead of saying a fixed number, you can put this as mouse x mouse y also. So now I have a moving. There's a bit of lag, but it tries to move as best with that. And then remember in the rectangle we had done a rectangle mode to be center. So similarly you can do that here also. Oh, sorry, not rectangle, it'll be image mode. Sorry. So now it's taking the center of the image as your key point of the particular object. So now it has a lot of fun possibilities, I think. Oh, I forgot about Shiva. So anyway, so now I'll get going with that and then we'll do webcam. So you can just quickly try something. It'll be like 5 minutes and I'll introduce you to today's artist.
How did you move that line without copying and pasting? Like few moments ago.
Oh, this line. Control Shift arrow key.
Okay, that I saw that and did not understand what just happened.
Sorry. It's a little bit easier, no, to just do that, but I don't recommend it when you're learning because then sometimes, it'll just one curly bracket will be missed and then you'll be wondering where that particular, why the code isn't working.
I'll risk it.
Okay, go ahead. You can see, Kushal, this thing, no, keyboard shortcuts.
Where is this?
On in the help, keyboard shortcuts.
Oh, okay.
So, and even for playing the sketch, you can do Control Enter. Okay, so this is kind of sorted. Can we go ahead now? Shraddha?
Yes, we'll do it later. No problem.
No worries. I can wait 5 minutes. करो आप आराम से कर लो. I'll recommend this very nice 5-minute video of Shiba Chachi also, which you guys can see at your own leisure. I never tell her name correctly. So, Shiva Chachi is a photographer artist from India only, and for years she was in, in the National Institute of Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And she uh, she started taking pictures and kind of evolved that as an interesting practice. And I think post that she also went abroad for a while, and her sister was very strongly involved in the feminist and women's rights movement in the 60s, 70s, and so on. So when she came back, she was like, what do I do? I was like, "Okay, just come and join us and, like help us as you can." So at that point, she started to take pictures of whatever was happening, like almost like documentary format, and kind of a lot of seminal documentation of the time of the movements, and one of very few women photographers of the time were doing this kind of documentation. And during that time, there was this time where I think they were looking particularly at events around deaths and other kind of fatal violence against young women, and including some of the prominent leaders, grassroots leaders of the movement. So she was documenting many of them, and it was at this point she felt like it was a right opportunity for her to take this format to staged photographs. So she's described it very nicely in her video, but I'll try my best. So she kind of asked them to choose the location, the pose, the way they are looking at the camera, and all the props around them. So she gave them like full control of what the frame would look like for them, and like how they wanted to represent themselves, which even perhaps today is not. I mean, maybe today it's a little less prevalent because everyone has phones on their mobiles. But when you had to really go and get your picture clicked, it was not so easy. These formats would never lend a woman that opportunity to pose in the way she preferred, because it would have been led by how the photographer, who was also male, or a senior family member who was also male, would suggest. So in this context, she gave them that opportunity. For example, here, Shana, I think her name is Shana. She continued to like post her own pictures. Here you can see with things in her house. Perhaps she's from a farmer community, so she has grains and her tools. There was one, this also very nice one, in front of the steps of the High Court, Supreme Court, where I think this was the first case against anti-dowry put forth by this lady. I don't know the full details. I'm sorry about that. And then slowly, what she realized is that she was stage to kind of looking at how the pictures will be displayed in the museum or the gallery space. So she started to stagger them, and many of them started to become almost transparent, print on transparent materials. So slowly, the pictures then became entire installations, and these are some of her collages also. So I think I'll leave it to you how you'd like to explore this. I'll share with you one or two ones that was very nice, which came out from one of the workshops that we've done. So here you can see she's using text, which you guys know how to use, and now she's using image, which also guys know how to use. But also, so you can kind of see if you incorporate your own image, or your own self, or maybe something else with the webcam rather than just images. So, and then of course, now she works with sort of not just ideas of feminism, but also ideas of ecology and and kind of the environmental impact we have currently. So I'll just urge you look at that video and see where it takes you in terms of what you'd like to learn more about in her work. Now we'll just quickly look at webcam, calling the webcam in p5.js, and then let's see where we are with that. So just like the image, to call the webcam, you also just need to use the image function. But did we do it? No, we haven't done text. Text is in session 7. You can see that post detail thing I sent you. Did you get it? Because someone else helped you pay for the through the payment gateway, right? Maybe they got.
No, I got confused because you said you know how to use text now. That's why
Is that what I
I
said?
thought I missed it.
Image. I meant image. Sorry. So we just set up another variable. We can call it whatever we want: camera, webcam, cam, video, whatever we want to call it. So I'll just call it camera, or maybe webcam, maybe. Okay, here we don't need to use preload. We can just, there's a function that directly allows you to call the webcam in p5.js. So you need to write in the setup, webcam equals create capture, capital in capture, and then put a bracket, and then write video all caps. So just run it once. I think, see what happens. It does turn up, yeah. So, because I'm like pushing out this different kind of video format to you guys, it's like showing you my whole screen. But ideally, you should just get your regular webcam feed. So let me know if you're getting this, and then I'll tell you what's happening and what we need to do more now. Under your canvas, you should be getting that. It's possible that there is a notification coming in your browser that's saying something block or allow. Is that showing up for you guys? So it just say allow if that's showing up. If you didn't get the block or allow and the camera didn't show up at the bottom and there was no error in your log, just check basically in the 1 second, let me open that first. I'm on Firefox, but maybe it's on Chrome also, it should be fine. You'll observe on the top where I put the code, my hyperlink here on the top, where we put our hyperlink always. There should be a little like a lock here, or some kind of icon like a camera, and it'll give you some. You click on it, it'll give you some options like allow camera or block camera or always block mic, things like that. So if you just click on those, it should work. And okay, Jenny's got it. Does anybody else? Let me know.
Yes, but it is below the canvas.
It's below the canvas. I'll tell you. You've got it right. I'll explain that to you in a bit. Okay. Shraddha, you're good? Kushal, you're good? Okay. Kushal, okay?
Yeah, I still don't have access to p5.
But webcam will work without logging in.
Will it work?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me try.
Okay. So what's happening while Kushal is figuring out if it works or not, I explain to you roughly what's happening. So basically what happens is that a webcam feed coming into your browser, your Chrome or Firefox, whatever you're using, is basically an HTML element. What that means is that when you open, say, Facebook or any other app that you're using, you or Wikipedia, you observe you can copy paste some of the text. Those are all elements of the HTML. So they are just as I mentioned in the past sessions, is just the structural part of the of the of the page, which don't have any kind of style attached to it, which don't have any kind of JavaScript event triggers attached to it. It's just showing up as an element. So it doesn't know yet how big it should be, how small it should be, where it should be. It's just turning up. That's all that it's doing. So currently your webcam feed is just but we want it to be canvas, right? Because we want to play around with it. We want a simple video feed, say how we have or a YouTube video or a webcam like what we see here in Google Meet or whatever. So how do we do that? It's pretty simple. What you'll do is, I know now. See, I know for example my webcam feed here currently is like again 1280 by 720. So I'll make it small only just for you to see. So I'll just do and I do 0, comma 0, and then I'll do 128 by 72, which is what I did last time. So now you'll see very small webcam feed, which you guys can see on your Google Meet is also turned up here, right? And but obviously I don't want this big chunky thing on the bottom. So I need to just go back to my setup and say webcam dot hide dot and then a bracket with nothing in it, just an empty bracket, just like how we put for no stroke or no fill. And then when I hit play, I'll only have the camera which is inside my canvas. And now again I can do all the same things that I was doing with image and other objects. So like I can move it around now. So here you can see it's kind of like doing whatever I'm asking. I can take the background into the setup and then I can use almost like a paintbrush, So or I can animate it if I prefer. So all possibilities are there. So now I will now you guys try it out once and then I will by then I'll try to pull up examples from the previous people who did it with webcam and image, so it'll give you a nice sense of what's possible and what you can do with it.
There's a question in the chat.
You want to share your screen or the code the from the like the hyperlink of your
This webcam hide is not working.
okay. Webcam dot hide with the
Dot hide. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Oh, your line fell. It used to say image. And, image bracket open webcam. Hmm. And the next thing is I also put in cam equals to create capture. So in webcam equals to create capture. So whatever you're using in your right now, same variable you use. The top written webcam. So then again here it's webcam, webcam, and webcam. Here it's image. Because of calling the webcam, I can image to the camera.
Is there a way to know what size it is? You
Your
knew your
webcam.
size, didn't
I just
you? Yeah.
I googled.
Oh.
So normally your webcam will be like 640 by 320 type of. That's the normal because I'm using full screen as a webcam also. And I mean just like there is a way to call out what it is. Let me see if I can find out and tell you. Maybe that will be useful. Right. Okay, yeah, there is. Okay, this is good. This is useful for us to know. So basically, in the like we've in the past we've used say like we wanted a circle to be at height, height width we've used in the past as a variable. Oh, sorry. अच्छा circle में सिर्फ एक ही variable है. So you can see like really right at the bottom here, my my circle is showing up here at the bottom here. So basically height is it's taking as the height of the canvas, which is 400. So similarly you can call out the height of your webcam as well. So your variable, which was webcam dot height, sorry, webcam will also have a dot height and a dot width. So if I were to uh, just check it in the console log, that might just be a very simple way to have a look. So one second. So I can just do now webcam dot height just to see if it will give me the height in the console. So you can see it's giving me 1080 as the size. Okay, I was guessing that it's 1280, but I was wrong. Yeah. So now suppose I wanted to use it again here. One second. Sorry, my mom was being very loud on the phone. So yeah, so you can now say for example, I wanted it to be like 1/4 of the original size. I can just very well say webcam dot width by 4 and webcam dot height by 4. So hopefully this should give me a small, so here you can see that it's come out to be a bit smaller. So this. Thank you for asking this question, Jenny. So I've just kind of always winged it. So now we'll quickly look at a few interesting effects that we can add to images and a couple of things related to that, and that should give you a lot of like exciting stuff to be able to try. So With images, you have a lot of filters that you can use. There is, I'll explain what these are to you, but if you're coming in from like a design or a, Photoshop kind of background, you'll know that there's threshold. Of course, there's grayscale. There is, you can change, like you can make it opaque, like then what will opaque do? Let's see. Opaque just sets the alpha to entirely opaque. So if the image has some kind of parts which are transparent or translucent, they'll not show up as the same. You can invert the colors. You can give it a posterized effect. You can dilate, which basically is almost like how the camera lens dilates and then there's more light coming in. You can blur it, and the blur value can be added, and you can erode it. So I'll add this link for you here in the chat, and we'll just try out a few of them so you guys can see what it looks like. Now, these filters can be used on image also, and they can be used on webcam also. So either way, it's quite okay. So after I've called the webcam or the image, I'll just write filter and then say I want to make it grayscale. I just do GR. Is it A or E? Which is the one it uses? Let's see. Gray A, okay. American spelling. So now you see it's become grayscale, like a monochrome black and white kind of an image. Or I can do posterize, which will give me like this, like it gives you these very bold colors that make it look almost like a comic strip or something like that. Oh, what happened? Sorry, I hope I didn't crash it. Okay, let's try something else. I guess we can do threshold. Okay, it's kind of crashing. Yeah, but it's, you can see. So threshold is basically it's a range between 0 to 255, which allows you to choose how much black or how much white you want on an image. So I think it defaults to somewhere in the middle, like at 125 or something. But I think you have an option to change the threshold amount. So threshold. So here you can see after they've given you all the examples, they typically give you more details about each of the things that are available. Yeah. So it's, oh sorry, it's 0 to 1, not so it converts the image to black and white pixels, and depending on if they're above a certain or below a certain threshold level, it makes them black or white. So right now it's at 0.5. So for, say for example, if I put comma 0.3, which is like 30% ish, so you'll see now almost all the black parts are like that were available earlier are absolutely missing. Or say if I take this up to 90, then more of those see details now are visible. So basically what it's doing is anything that's a dark colored pixel, and you can see when I'm selecting the text also, it's turning up as black. So you can do this with image also. You can do this with webcam feed also. Now I want to just show you one or two. So there's another one here called blend, where you can use two images. I've not specifically ever tested this, but you can also have a look at it if you're interested and if you feel that it suits what you want to do.
Can we stack filters, like use filter twice?
I think you can. Let me see. Or maybe not, who knows? Uh, shall we just try it once? Let's see what it does. So maybe I'll add, what one can I add which will not blur? I'll add blur. Let's see what happens. Blur. I think it may may either be too buggy or may not specifically work. Isn't that what they had done? Blur ke liye? Or 3 or something in the example. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it has blurred. So now let's try the threshold. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Okay, let's see. Maybe it was not a wise idea, but let's see what happens. Okay, nothing is happening. Okay, let me find out, but I feel it's maybe just not advisable for the computer. But more than that, I can't say. I'll find out a bit more and I'll let you know. So now we'll look at,
That's because you're using the OBS, right?
yeah, maybe that's the reason also. We look at two uh, more two more functions, which are get and copy. So get is very simple. We'll start off with get. Get basically what it does is you can define get as either blank, like with no parameters in it, or you can set a pixel point for the parameters. So what it will do is and sorry, the xy and the width and height. So what it will do is for that exact size that you shared, it will get all the pixel data of that particular image. So what that means is, one second, I'll try to show you guys normal webcam, which is might make it easier. Kind of, yes. Kushal, you're very, very close in understanding what it is. So, let me see. Let's see if it works. Oh. This will not work unless I. Let me just